Hello, everybody. It's Reagan here, and it truly is a blessing and joy to be here. And thank you all for being here. It's good to gather, even if it is on the interwebs. Oh man, where to begin? Where to begin? I just felt sort of guided to make a video right now, despite all this crazy energy that's popping off. It's a very exciting time. I'm feeling really good about humanity's timeline right now, despite, all the madness. No matter, where you're coming from, the US election right now is popping off, and it's pretty crazy. And it's, everything we expected, everything we expected. So I'm not really too fazed by the fraudulent stuff right now, because I have full faith that it's all going to be accounted for. I really do. I can just feel it. I can just really feel it. I woke up really early this morning, as a lot of people did, I think, And this isn't just about the election. This is just about energies in general, but it's impossible to ignore, at least for me, because I can just feel it in the collective. I'm sure we all can, even if you're not. I'm not even that tuned into it, I'm really not, but can just feel this anticipation and this edge of your seat in this crazy climactic scene in this movie. And it is a movie, very much. So more than anything, there's all kinds of information everywhere you turn, whether it be true or not, I guess is another story, but there's information everywhere. So I'm not really even trying right now to present any information one way or another. I mean, obviously I have my beliefs and I have my opinions, but it's really more about encouragement and inspiration, because that's something I feel a lot, and I remind myself, and for anyone who's, whether you're making content or not, you're still contributing to humanity, no matter what you're doing, how you are vibrating and how you're treating other people and things like that. No matter what you do, you're contributing to this big old collective consciousness. And that's what I find a lot is, myself included, is a lot of times we think we need more information or more guidance when really we need inspiration and encouragement. Gotta be brave in these times. It's good to be wise and strong in these times, and be strong in yourself, because again, going back to this election, no matter, what outcome there is in your reality, good or bad, ultimately you have to save yourself. You are your responsibility. So that being said, I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. I hope you're all feeling well. A message that came to me this morning as well is about gratitude. And these are always nice reminders, but, it's such gratitude, practicing gratitude, feeling gratitude, making it a point to think of things you are grateful for, every single day, multiple times a day. It's so simple, we take it for granted, but it's so powerful. I was really reminded this morning of how much gratitude will flip your whole script. Like, seriously, we are in a quantum universe, first of all, so remember that you're creating your reality. You really are, at the end of the day. It's, as nice as it sounds, that's just the more we go into this ascension energy, or whatever you want to call it, that's upon the earth, the more you do your own spiritual work, the more you confront your own shadows and, connect with your heart center, which is, the heart center is the core. It's the core. It's that compassion, that forgiveness, that neutrality. That is a real source of strength that we all have and can tap into. And gratitude is just the most easiest, accessible way for anyone to start tapping into that heart and start anchoring in these higher vibrations, which we're all doing, and there's ups and downs. It's very natural, especially in these times, to just go through all these emotions. And it seems the more you do and the more you work on that stuff, the more subtle these illusions actually get, once you start knocking out these denser, more painful traumas and illusions, for me on my journey at least, I then start to notice the more subtle ones. They're not as dense, they're not as painful, but they're a little more puzzling and they're a little more challenging and complex because they're almost harder. They're more subtle. They're harder to see, certain dogmas or programs that we're still working on getting out of. And, relating to what I'm talking about is gratitude, because I think about this all the time. And I'm not even talking about other people, but I'm sure we all do this. I've been on this spiritual journey for so long. I've been practicing gratitude for so long. And yet still, I've been noticing more and more. It's almost fascinating. And I do think it is a program of mind control. But either way, however you want to look at it, this happening where, we can be just surrounded by blessings and light, even the most simple things, like just being able to breathe, just being healthy, literally just being able to walk. My dad just got a hip surgery. Before that, he couldn't even walk, so it kind of put in perspective, little things, little things that we really just take for granted. And it's almost, I know, can be annoying to hear, but it really be like that, as they say. It's really true. And it's all about your perspective. So it's amazing to me how we can be surrounded by all these things just so beautiful, just going right, you know what I mean? The sun came out and we can walk and we can breathe and we can talk, we can express ourselves, can drink our favorite coffee in the morning or whatever, just little things, even just little things, all day long. But then, there's one problem, or there's one negative emotion, or there's one, there's just a few little problems. And it's like, instead of using your energy and your focus, which is everything, I can't, stress that enough, how you feel in each now moment is everything, That's your experience, and it is also what you are attracting to you, because of course the law of attraction is very real, and it's getting more and more rapid, it would seem. It's accelerating. So, which means, I'm jumping all over the place, I'm just flowing from the heart, but which means when you focus on the things you're grateful for, it's natural, it's universal law that more good things are going to come. And obviously your focus is changing, so you're going to feel better because you're, focusing on all these amazing things you have. And that vibration of gratitude, I mean, you could go into so many different studies and all this stuff. I mean, whatever rabbit hole you want to take, if you want the science, if you want the esoteric route, it doesn't matter. It's all going to tell you the same thing. And nothing is going to tell you anything more than your own individual experience when you really make that like your first priority, right when you wake up, throughout the day, right before you go to bed, just practicing gratitude for all these little things, And it's that ego that's going to be like, I don't want to, It's that ego, it's that nasty little, that's that resistance of like, I don't want to be grateful, which is fine. I mean, we all choose our own vibration, our own experience. We do learn things from lower dimensional emotions. We learn things from that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, when it gets to a point, at least for me, where I'm just ready to, I'm ready to get that lower stuff out of here. And I find gratitude really is, I would say, the easiest way. And it is so simple, and it really is a gateway. It's a portal to higher experiences. It's just amazing again to me how I notice in my own life, it's like I got all these amazing things going for me, and it's a subconscious habit. I don't realize I'm doing it. I try to be very observant though. So finally I notice, I'm very sensitive, so I start feeling like, what is that feeling? Why do I feel anxious? Like, why do I feel, there's nothing particularly wrong happening, why am I feeling this, like, anxiety? So then I have to really sit there and I really ask for guidance. And that's another thing, too. I'm not sure, where you guys are all on your spiritual journey at this point. But if you're not talking directly to your soul or to God, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, I really don't like getting hung up on words. your source of creation. We all have it. It has infinite knowledge and creativity and inspiration. It's the source of all these things. You can talk directly to it at any time you want. I don't know if you know that or not, but I was thinking about that too not too long ago. It's like, I hope people know that, because I don't know what I would do without that source. I've been using and relying on that for years. Just, writing is really helpful too, so you remember it. Just like journaling. It's like having a conversation with yourself and asking for guidance, asking for advice, and you will receive. That's how I received this message this morning about gratitude, because I was feeling a little bit weird this morning, just because, again, this energy is wild. We're all feeling it. It's been crazy, but it just continues to get more and more intense. And so I really had to ground myself and ask for guidance, and I really started to get into this mode of gratitude, because I was realizing I was just like focusing on all these little tiny things, like little nuances, I guess, that I was worrying about, and things like I don't even know. Sometimes you really don't even know. Sometimes it's just subconscious, or you just pick something up in the field, or all these sorts of things. And yeah, so I just started really thinking about my perception. I could go on. I will keep this brief, because I know I don't need to go on. And I'm grateful. I feel like a lot of the people who do watch these videos already know this kind of stuff, but it's always good for a reminder. Even for me, I've probably made several videos just about gratitude, and I still get humbled, because I'm like, this is a whole new reality. I guess that's the main point. Is it sounds nice, right? It sounds nice, like, oh yeah, of course I should be grateful. It's always good to be grateful. There's always someone who wants what you have and stuff like, I don't know, stuff like that. But it's literally like a gateway. Because it was like, as soon as I switched my vibration, because your emotions and your thoughts is kind of making up your being, your vibration, and it oscillates throughout the days and the weeks and whatnot. But as soon as I really let myself feel that gratitude, and I had a little bit of resistance too, because when you're in that anxious state, you there's like resistance to the light and to love sometimes. It's natural. It happens. You just got to be aware of it. But it was like, as soon as I let this gratitude come in, it felt like I was in, I don't know, like my energy field. It's almost like a big egg. And it's like, all of a sudden, all this light that had been shining on me was like able to actually come through. And it was like, oh, so lovely, so amazing, so much wholeness. And then, I started getting other messages that are, I guess, more pertinent to my life and my personal experience. But nonetheless, I just wanted to share that. I even had to write a poem on my website about gratitude, because it's like, I just want to share it with people, I really want to share this message with people. Again, it's so simple, but that's the beauty of it. It's so simple. Anyone can do it. Everyone can do it. And just give it like 5 minutes of focusing on gratitude. All these things you're grateful for. You always have something to be grateful for. Always, You're able to sit here and watch this video. There's so many infinite things to be grateful for. All of our experiences, the good and the bad. The bad experiences that have taught us things that we really need to know. I know when I look back upon my darkest moments, it's like, what a blessing, what a blessing that was in retrospect, because those are the experiences that I know have made me so much stronger and wiser and more appreciative, and on and on and on. It's the story of life. It's beautiful. And it's just so strange to me that, I think that really is a program from the Matrix for us to just have this lack mentality, this scarcity mentality, hunting. If you don't have a problem, it's like your psyche's just going to hunt for a problem. It's going to hunt for something that's not wrong. Going to hunt for something that makes me feel like I'm not worthy. I think we all have these. Most of us have these programs. And it's just ridiculous when you really see them, you really observe them, and don't get sucked into them. And when you can practice gratitude, Even for that contrast, grateful, because when you find yourself in those lower states and you realize it, that's when you can snap out of it. It's just contrast. It doesn't mean you're off your path. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Remind yourself that too, because that's what those little voices will try to tell you. Like, oh, you're off your path. You're not doing good. Something's wrong. That's that anxiety. We really got to start looking at this stuff like it's energy, because it is energy. And we are way more powerful than it, always. That fear, we all feel it in one way or another. But that fear is always going to pass. It goes away. You know what I mean? Always. It's never, that's another trick. It tries to convince you that it's here to stay. It's not. And the sooner you can stop feeding it, stop feeding those thought forms that insult you. Just stop feeding them, Easier said than done, but it can be done by anyone, 100%. No one has to sit here and be a victim to this stuff when they know this information and how it works. And there's so many beautiful sources available, from energy healing to spirituality and esoteric teachings. That's another thing, The Hermetic teachings is always a good place to start. Learning about the universal laws that exist in this reality for our consciousness. I think it's really helpful. It's part of escaping this matrix, because when this external illusion around you of the physical world, it's like a playground, it's like an arena. You can do all kinds of stuff here, but it's like you got to be tight with yourself. Don't get so sucked into the illusion. Once it starts sucking you in to a point where it's bringing you down, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a great moment to just stop and observe and maybe ask for guidance, maybe sit down and meditate. But this is already long enough than it needed to be. I just feel so much energy right now. I'm sure we all feel it, but I'm just feeling complete faith and gratitude. I think this is a big turning point for humanity. And I know, even earlier I went back and forth with myself in my own internal dialogue, having some of this doubt about, the evolution of humanity and the grand awakening and the ascension, or whatever you want to call it. But deep down, I know literally nothing can stop it. This is the time. And it's like a movie, so it's like, these suspenseful little dramas in between kind of just, in a way it makes it more real, it makes it more fun. It brings out things in all of us that we might need to see in ourselves and in others. And of course, what you see in others is what you're seeing in yourself. You can't really escape that projection. But it's good to be aware of that, because it is hard sometimes. But I just truly see like a big turning point, and it excites me so much, to the point where I'm really not fazed by Satan's illusions. You know what I mean? I'm really not fazed by these illusions, because we all expected these illusions to come up. It's all been expected. I don't know where this quote comes from, but it's something along the lines of, the greatest trick the devil ever played is that he can win, or something like that. And I really resonate with that. It's really true, because we know, whatever you want to call them, these darker forces, whatever you want to call them, demons, reptilians, Satan, demiurge, whatever you want to name it and however you want to frame it, ultimately they're masters of illusion. And that's their trick. They're masters of illusion. They're really good at illusion. But that's all they're good at, is illusion. You go into your spirit, you know what's real. And you create your reality. So the more you practice gratitude, the more you will experience and feel and radiate and broadcast, because your energy field is not only receiving, it's broadcasting. You can walk past someone and inspire them, and you don't even have to say any words, because all of our energies are always connecting. And that's a whole other rabbit hole, but I'm just saying, we are so powerful, and it's really time to acknowledge that. It's more time than ever to really step into that, and don't be afraid of it. Just acknowledge it. We are surrounded by so much love. We really, really are. And if you don't feel it and see it now, you will. No doubt. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. So exciting. So honored to be here with all of you. beautiful souls all around. I'm sending you so much love right now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all you're doing. Trust in yourself. Trust in your power. We are powerful. Trust in your ability to discern the truth in your heart. What resonates, what doesn't resonate. That's the real key, because all these truths are, the real truth comes from within. Don't be fooled by the illusion of the matrix. All the truth comes from within, and you have the full sovereignty, free will, to create your own adventure, create your own timeline. We're all going to experience this slightly different. But the more you anchor in this light, the smoother it can be. And again, nothing can stop what's coming. We came here for this. I could just keep talking and talking. I had a lot of coffee this morning. But again, I love you all. Thanks for listening. And until next time, take care of yourself. Take the best kindness and forgiveness for yourself and for others, and realize that it really is all one. Everything is all one, and there is a divine order to everything. Have a blessed day. God bless you all.